Good morning, yogis. If we could get started in child's pose, balasana, bringing the big toes to touch behind, opening the knees wide, reaching the hands forward, and letting the belly sink down onto the ground. Taking a moment to turn on some good quality inhalations and exhalations, and maybe taking a moment to feel this sense of accomplishment that you got here. You know, sometimes getting to yoga can be very stressful and can be very frustrating. Whether your alarm went off a little bit earlier than you wanted, or that red light just would not change, and you're like, I gotta get to yoga. I have to go become Zen. Well, just know that you have completed that task of getting here, and it feels so good. If you'd like more of an active balasana, you can externally rotate those shoulders, reach the arms forward, and press the fingertips into the earth, looking for a nice long spine. Pick up the torso and walk it over to the right. Feeling a light stretch down the left and looking for that contraction down the right. So we put a lot of value on time, so much so that we think about what's going on in the future a lot, whether it's something we'd like to do, or if we have a meeting later, or if we have to go to the grocery store. And that idea prevents us from living in the present moment sometimes, because we're constantly thinking about what we have to do later on. Pick up the torso, pass through center, and take it to the other side. I encourage you to not let thoughts like that come in. And if they do, just let them pass, because part of what you want to do in here is focus on the present moment and live in that present moment with your breath. And it just makes the yoga practice a little bit more, it's like another layer, kind of like a layer to a cake. Pick up the torso and bring it to the center line, and let's begin to set some intentions. So your intention is the how you're gonna do something, and that's kind of a really important aspect of the intention, because sometimes we think that it's a final destination, or it's something we can hold on to, or it's a final image of what a pose looks like. But instead, let it be about how you're gonna approach your practice. Ask yourself, are you going to approach it with fluidity, strength, maybe a sense of calm? And you make that decision here now, so that later on, when you realize, hey, that's not what I intended, you can slowly make those small adjustments to fit the intention you were looking for. Tabletop. Bringing the shoulders over the wrists and the hips over the knees. Just find that nice long spine. And from here, let's begin to roll the shoulders back. Lift up the chin. Let the sits bones lift for your cat. Exhale, round and curl. Let out all the breath as you tuck the chin, tuck the tailbone. Inhale, lengthen. Combining that movement with breath. Exhale, round and curl. So good. Inhale. So as you inhale, contract that middle, upper, lower back. Exhale, round and curl. So your eye gaze is looking at your navel here. Inhale, lengthen. And now your eyes is all the way at the top of your eyes. Exhale, round and curl. Inhale, lengthen. Now you can stick with these cat-cows or slowly turn them into a dancing lion. Now, dancing lion, there's no right or wrong. It's an organic movement. Make it feel good. and find those little sticky parts that need your attention. I can definitely tell you that in the morning, we are at our tightest and you can feel it. You can feel it right when you wake up. You feel stiff. So use this dancing lion to kind of iron out that stiffness. Eye of the needle flow on the right side. Reach that right hand forward. Exhale, bring it back and around. Inhaling at the very top. Exhale at the bottom. And find something to focus on, whether it's your right hand, your left hand. And then after 3 rotations, take it into the other direction. So you want to move your hips with this as well. So as you're moving forward and back, take your hips with you. Let's inhale, stack the shoulders one on top of the other. Reach that right hand up. Exhale, thread your needle. As you work this right shoulder through and this left shoulder back, the left hand can be used for stability. And then also, if you want to, you can wrap and bind, or you can float and fly. So kind of the tricky thing is always maybe finding where you personally need to be. So the head is on the ground and the goal is to get the back of the skull onto the ground. So that's when you can use that left hand to push and work the shoulder back. Release, softly set it all down, unbind the arm, press it into the earth. Inhale that right arm up. Balancing tabletop, right hand reaches forward. Inhale the left leg off of the ground. So from here, you want to find a nice long spine by energetically reaching towards the mirror and energetically reaching towards the back wall. Exhale, round and coral. Make yourself that tight little package. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, round and curl. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, round and curl. Grabbing the knee or the shin from here, and from here, round out even more. So you're kind of, as you're rounding out your back, you're trying to make your legs fit into your chest. Inhale, lengthen. And let's from here find our knee down twisted bow. Lifting the chin, lifting the leg, lifting the arm. Reach back and grab the foot, and then open up this right shoulder. Try to let the hips be in one line, so don't let the left hip dip, but instead pick that left hip up so that it's in line with the right. Release. Dance it out. Softly set it all down. Find that organic movement again. Eye of the needle flow on the left side. Reach it forward. Exhale, bring it back and around. After your 3 rotations, take it into the other direction. So sometimes we forget about the focus aspect of yoga. So remember, it's not just about flexibility. It's not just about strength. It's also how well you can stay here. Stack the shoulders one on top of the other. Exhale, thread your needle. Working it through. Now, if you took the journey on one side, take it on this side. You don't notice how, as we get older, sometimes we don't play as much. I teach kids, and man, they are so focused on getting either a cartwheel or a handstand, and they're just relentless. But there's something about when we get to a certain age that we stop playing. I will always encourage you to play in this class. Softly set it all down, unbind that right arm, press it into the earth, inhale that left arm up. Balancing tabletop, reaching that left hand forward and reaching that right leg back. Round and curl, elbow into the knee. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, round and curl, activating your Ujjayi breath. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, round and curl, grabbing the knee or the shin. So just like, your leg, don't let it just hang there. Lift it up with your hamstrings so the right heel's working up. Inhale, lengthen. Knee down, twisted bow. Reaching back, grabbing the foot. Let that left shoulder open, and then bring your eye gaze over to the left. Release. Dancing lion. Hovering tabletop. Curl the toes, let the knees come 1 to 2 inches off of the ground. So from here, I want you to separate those shoulder blades and find a nice long spine. So maybe a slight lift to the chin. Turbo dog, lifting the hips up to the sky, and the knees can open up slightly to the side just to make room for the torso. But think about getting any roundness out of your back so that it's nice and long and straight. Downward facing dog. Begin to pedal out the feet, finding some organic movements as you move the hips side to side. Plank pose. Shifting the weight forward, and the shoulders are going to come slightly past the wrist. So the idea here is to find that mind-body connection, using your mind to tell your body what to do. So you want to zip up your thighs, zip up the triceps, push that floor away, and then just make sure that the core is engaged as well by slightly tucking the tailbone. Lower the knees, downward facing cat. As you reach and claw the hands forward and lower down the chest down onto the ground. Now, if it's too much to bring the chest onto the ground, you can bring the mouth onto the ground or even the forehead. Just remember the intensity dial is where the hips are. So the more the hips are over the knees, the more you're going to feel. Release, slide it all the way through till you're flat on your tummy. From here, taking baby cobra, place the fingertips underneath the shoulders and then hug the elbows in. So you want to feel your arms pressing against the side of your body. Inhale up for baby cobra, maybe hovering the hands off of the ground. Now make sure that your feet are nice and anchored to the ground so that it creates the support needed to lift the back. Slowly lower. Walk the hands back a little bit, maybe to frame the chest. And then from there, finding our lifted cobra, pressing into the floor, hugging the elbows in, leaving the elbows slightly bent, and then feel as if you're sliding your body through your arms, and feel as if you're sliding your hands back. Slowly release, lowering it down. From here, either taking your full Big Daddy Cobra or taking your bow or boat or taking any favorite arms you might have. If you're taking your bow or boat, reach back and around and grab the feet, kick into the hands and lift up to the sky.
I tried to drink it away. I tried to put one in the air. I tried to dance it away.
Slowly release, bringing it down, and find your way to a child's pose, rounding out the back, and know that there's never any shame in taking a child's pose, especially if you need it. So there's always this option, and there's always the option of a downward facing dog as well. Downward facing dog. Big toes come to touch, right leg sweeps the sky. Explore it out. Making big circles with that leg and kind of warming it up. Taking the leg counterclockwise, clockwise, maybe with a bent knee or straight knee. Straighten the right leg. Really open up that right hip. Elevate high in the left toes. Exhale, round and curl, knee to nose. Now the key here is to shift that weight into the arms. Right leg sweeps the sky. Flex the right toes, internally rotate the right leg. So you want this right hip in line with the left. Exhale, round and curl. Round out the back even more and flick that right leg through. And let's find our way to a twisted lunge. Setting down that left hand, inhaling that right arm up. Now think about your hips, square them off. So you want to lift the left hip instead of dip it. Release and find your way to a knee down crescent lunge. Softly set down the back knee. Inhale the arms up above the head and cactus the arms as you melt the hips down. Reach the arms back and open up that front side body. So remember, where your eyes go is where your body's gonna the tendency is gonna go. So if you wanna look at the very top, it helps with the back bend. Release and find your way to a half split. Shifting the weight back onto the left leg, straightening that right leg. Flex the right toes. And take a moment right there to just feel out the hamstring. Wide-legged downward facing dog or hammock pose. Walking it over to the left. And then as you do this, set your feet up. So slightly pigeon toe the feet and then walk the hands forward. And then externally rotate the shoulders. Melt the heart down and lift the sits bones up to the sky for your hammock pose. Now that is an option. You can also take the wide-legged downward dog. If you have really tight shoulders, separate your hands to a high V. Release, walk your hands through your legs as you reach towards that windowed wall. Now remember, you can keep a bend to the knees so that you can slowly begin to work the knees back. So if you have to bend the knees, find a longer spine, then begin to straighten them. Release, walk it over to the right. And right leg meets the left at the back of the mat for your plank pose. From here, if you need to lower the knees for chaturanga, please do. Lower down and then begin to push into your upward facing dog. Meeting me in downward facing dog. From here, baby step all the way to the front of the mat. So you want to work the thigh up to the abdomen, and every time you take a step, you're shifting weight into the arms. Once you reach the front of the mat, hang heavy, grab opposite elbows. Relax your face, relax your shoulders, but don't relax that belly. Instead, you want to suck it in as if the navel was going to touch the ceiling. Release the arms and slowly roll up vertebrae by vertebrae. Inhale the arms up above the head. Find your reversed handstand. Toes and heels are touching. Take your hand and place it over your ribs, the tops of your ribs. So if you feel that your ribs are out, press them in and tighten everything. And then reach it back up. Optional back bend of your choice, either interlace, supported, or up above. Exhale, swan dive down. Your fingertips can be on the floor, the block, or the shin, or on your thighs. Inhale, look and lengthen. Exhale, fold it out. Inhale, look and lengthen. Exhale, letting go of last week. Inhale, look and lengthen. Letting go of any animosity. Let it go. Inhale, look and lengthen from this upright position. Walk, jump, step, float it to the back of the mat. Vinyasa flow, meeting me back in downward facing dog. Once you're there, find a little bit of stillness. So the thing about downward facing dog is that it is a very active posture. And sometimes we have to look for how active it really is. Big toes come to touch, left leg sweeps the sky. Explore it out. So I encourage you to get to know both sides of your body. First of all, it's fun. But then second of all, we oftentimes neglect one side over the other because it's not the side that makes us feel good about ourselves. So remember that your body's telling you something and saying, hey, I want attention on this side too. Straighten the left leg, point the left toes, open up that left hip, elevate high in the right toes. Exhale, round and curl. So the left heel's working up to the left glute. It should feel like you want to pop your hips over your shoulders. Left leg sweeps the sky. Flexing the left toes, internally rotate the left thigh. So here, bring your awareness to your wrists. And I want you to press into the tops of the finger pads so that we're not sinking into them. And now bring your awareness to your tummy and suck it in. Exhale, round and curl, bringing the knee into the nose and not the nose into the knee. Flick that left leg through, find your twisted lunge. Ground yourself in the right hand, inhale that left arm up. Scissor hug the legs, so that means to feel as if you're gonna bring both of your thighs to touch together. Knee down, crescent lunge. Softly set down the back knee, point the right foot, inhale the arms up above the head, cactus the arms. As you cactus the arms, think about both of your elbows coming back to touch behind you. So you're not just opening up the front side of the body from up and down, you're also opening it up from side to side. Release, half split. Straighten out the left leg, curl the right toes or point them. And from here, curl the left toes and begin to straighten out with a flat spine. Using your blocks is a great idea, just because they help bring the floor to you, and it helps you with mobility. Release. Walk it around for your wide-legged forward fold. As you straighten out the legs, slightly pigeon toe the feet, and from here, just hang heavy with your hands on your hips. So place your hands on. Now, what I want you to do is elongate your spine and take out the hump and just hold it right there. So you're trying to find this straight spine with your hands on your hips, and you're trying to just lengthen. Now from here, come up to standing by lengthening up with a flat back. Inhale the arms up above the head. Cactus the arms as you arch the back, moving the hips slightly forward. Press into the feet. Grab your towel or strap if you have it handy and use it to interlace behind as you really broaden the front part of your body by bringing the elbows together. Exhale, swan dive, or not, forward fold with your shouldered stretch. I got a tongue tied there, sorry. Now remember, this is about your shoulders and less about your legs. So figure out where you want to bring your awareness and your attention to. So, if you're not feeling it so much in your shoulders, ask yourself why. And maybe bend your knees a little bit. And then from there, let the shoulders melt a little more. And then work the knees back. It's all about the intention and kind of how you want to sequence everything. Release. Place the fingertips down. Inhale, look and lengthen. Exhale, fold it out. Grab onto the big toes or grab onto the outside blades of the feet or cup the heels from behind. From here, you want to pull down on your feet and then elongate the spine. And then all while doing that, you want to shift the weight forward onto the toes as if it's going to feel like you're going to fall, but that's kind of where you kind of play with it. I'll take your hands, yeah. This one, and then lean forward. Always coming back to your breath, using your breath to help you find depth. So when you inhale, you kind of take one step back, and when you exhale, you take 2 steps forward, and you hollow out that inner body even more each time. It feels cool, right? To get out of it, you want to bend your knees. Yeah. And release. Walk it over to the left. Left foot meets the right at the back of the mat. Plank pose. Vinyasa. Chaturanga. Upward face. Downward face. Big toes come to touch. Walk, jump, step, float it to the front of the mat, and hang heavy. So I want the toes and the heels touching, and then now from here, move up into your chair pose. Inhaling the arms up above the head. Release. Ready? Okay. Can you get this hand? And then grab the floor. Oh, there we go. I was worried you were going to fall. 100% of the weight is in the heels. Think about the thumbs touching the back wall. Hands to heart center. Half chair. Finding a flat spine and hug everything in. So inner thighs are hugging in, and knees are hugging in, ankles are in. Floating chair. Keeping the ankles kissing together. Lift the heels off of the ground and press the toes into the earth. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, look and lengthen. From this upright position, walk, jump, step, float it to the back of the mat. Vinyasa flow. Meeting me back in downward facing dog. Big toes come to touch. Right leg sweeps the sky. Open up that hip. Exhale, round and curl, knee to nose. Right leg sweeps the sky. Right knee touches the right tricep. Just give it a little kiss, but try to keep the weight evenly distributed in the arms. Right leg sweeps the sky. Exhale, round and curl, knee to nose. Round out the back even more. Flick that right leg through. Inhale up to crescent lunge. So you want to work this right hip back as you're working the left hip forward. Reach those arms up, cactus the arms. Half crescent, reaching the arms up above the head, biceps are by the ears. And you want to energetically feel like your weight is pressing down into the ground. Sweep your arms back, palms face the ground. Push off of the left foot, find your airplane pose. So your chest is lifted, and the reason why is because you want that upper back supported, because if you have it lifted, it's gonna lift your body up. Bend the right knee, find your way back to your crescent lunge. Water wheel. Reaching back with that right hand, left hand reaches forward. Finding an upper twist. And it can be very tricky with the balance. The key is to press down on the right big toe mount. Exalt if it's in your practice. Release, warrior 2. Opening the arms to the equipment wall. 3 pumping warriors. Pressing into the ground. Exhale, lower. Inhale, reach up. Zip up the thighs. Exhale, lower. Pressing into the ground. Exhale, lower. Finding stillness in your warrior 2. So you're externally rotating both hips, and the back thigh, you want to feel as if that lower thigh is coming up to the ceiling, and then you're grounding yourself in the blade of the back foot. Flip the palm of the front hand. Exalt out. Sitting even lower in the front leg.
This is such a crazy feeling.
Triangle, straightening out the right
I
leg.
don't want to get to a
Sliding down the
I
hand.
feel like I already am.
Opening up the shoulder. Stacking the
My
shoulders.
mind's telling me one thing, but I guess I should listen to my heart.
Maybe streamline the left bicep to the ear. Maybe streamline both biceps to the ear.
Sometimes I feel you're getting colder.
Exhale, reaching it all back. Eye gaze to the back foot.
Sometimes I think I need you.
So meet me in center, and then from here, you can set up your block in front of you, and then bend the back leg, push, and find your way into your half moon.
When I feel these expectations.
Stacking the shoulders one on top of the other. Stacking the hips one on top of the other. If you go over the moon, take it. Warrior 2. Extended floor angle. Eye gaze to the left hand. Right hand on the shin, block, foot, or floor. Taking any bound variations. So you can wrap and bind the left arm. You can wrap and bind the right. And your options are birds of paradise, bound split.
Wearing your jacket home at night to keep me warm. I won't admit that I keep falling. Spending the summer in the
Release. From here, meeting me in a lizard lunge. Heel toe the right leg out to the side. Softly lower the back knee. Come onto the elbows. Quad stretch. Right hand reaches back. Now if you can't reach the foot, it's okay. Reaching for it is plenty. Release. From here, take it into your half or full split. So depending on where you are, the most important thing for everybody is to keep the hip square, and then to work the right hip back, and to stay elevated with a nice spine so that when you want to come forward, it will put you in the right alignment.
I could be the one to kiss you till
Depending on where you are and how you want to get there, place your hands either on the floor and the blocks. Curl the toes in the back leg. Round out the back. Lift the foot up, then sweep it up and back. Bend the right knee, look over the left shoulder. Stay or flip out your dog. Keep the hips up. Reach with that right hand. Release, plank pose. Optional 3-legged vinyasa flow or regular vinyasa. Meeting me back in downward facing dog. Big toes come to touch. Left leg sweeps the sky. Open up that left hip.
If I didn't let love
Round and curl, knee to
maybe I could
nose.
see.
So here, really round out, shift that weight. Left leg sweeps the
It was
sky.
all a dream.
Left knee to left
If I wasn't
tricep.
nervous,
So you want the knee towards the inside of the arm, not the outside.
now I
Left leg sweeps the sky.
but it feels like nothing.
Round and curl, knee to nose. Flick that left leg through, crescent lunge. Inhaling the arms up above the head. So the thing about crescent lunge is sometimes this front leg, we want to sink and dump our body weight into it. Instead, feel as if you're pushing the floor away without straightening your knee. Cactus the arms, open up the heart, slight lift to the chin, eye gaze looking up. So a lot of times we forget where to put our eyes, and our eyes are very important. Half crescent lunge, reaching the hands forward, biceps by the ears. Keeping that slight scoop, slight lift to the chin. Do not tuck the chin into the chest. There's a lift. Hands to heart center. Find your way to your warrior 3 variations, whether it's airplane or taking your hands in your favorite position.
Maybe that's just me. 'Cause now I have it all, but it feels like nothing.
Rewind, crescent lunge,
Don't know how
water wheel,
other side of all,
right hand
but
forward,
I still can't sleep.
left hand back.
I'm just sorry.
Exalt
I'm just
if you'd like, reaching up and back. So that means you're gonna have to lift up that right hip even more. Warrior 2. Cartwheeling the arms all the way around. Take a nice big stance. 3 pumping warriors. Pressing into the earth. Exhale, lower. Express yourself. Always know that it's welcomed and that it's appreciated. Finding a place between effort and ease. After your third one, sit at your lowest expression. Flip the palm of the left hand, exalt your warrior out. Reaching up and back. Now remember, this is a side lateral stretch, so we want to keep the shoulders in line with one another.
Okay, fine.
Triangle pose. Straightening out the left leg. Left hand slides down the left leg. Open up that right shoulder.
How you gonna sleep tonight? We sheets on fire. In the
Streamline the right bicep to the ear.
for the medicine.
Maybe streamline the left bicep to the ear. Exalt your triangle.
She loves you, boy. You get it for your mom.
Half moon.
She
Shifting the weight into that left leg. Pushing off the right.
loves you, boy.
Energy through that right leg, so don't just let it hang out there. Make sure that there's energy in that leg so that the leg is supporting itself. Warrior 2. Extended floor angle. Eye gaze to the right hand. Left hand touches down on the shin block, foot or floor. Stay or play. So sometimes less is more, and you don't always have to take every variation. Sometimes the yoga practice just calls for what you need that day. Instead of trying to force ourselves to do something we know we can do, sometimes it's better to do something that's not as crazy, because just because we can doesn't mean we should. Lizard lunge. Heel toe the left leg out. Softly set down the back knee. Come onto the elbows. Quad stretch. Reach back with the left hand. So in the quad stretch, really open up the left shoulder. And what that helps you do is find the upper twist. Half or full split. Heel toe the left leg back to the center line. Use your blocks if you need them.
She loves you, boy. You get it for your mom, 'cause she raised you, boy.
Release. Place your hands on the floor of the blocks. Press down to the floor. Round out your back. Flex those left toes and sweep it up and back. Bend the left knee. Look over the right shoulder. Softly set it down. Flip out your dog.
One night to speed up truth. We had a promise made.
Bring it all the way around. 3-leg vinyasa or a regular vinyasa.
We had divine sin to know.
Making that mind-body connection is so important. From here, bend the knees, walk, jump, step, float it to the front of the mat. So you can either stay right here and take your dancing Shiva from this forward fold, or you can inhale up to standing and take it from there. If you're taking it from standing and you need to, you can just leave the knee bent and grab it from the outside. For everybody else, pop the toes in the right leg, grab it with the left hand. Right hand comes to the right hip crease and inhale up to standing. Now remember that dancing Shiva is kind of about that twist as well. So you want to make sure that the hand is on the outside of the knee, towards the outside of the thigh, so that when you press your knee and your hand against each other, it works the shoulder back. And then suck in your belly, reach back with that right hand, support yourself nice and well on that left foot, lengthen it out. Release, taking big toe stand, reaching that right arm up, grabbing the big toe mount. Now you can leave the knee bent like this if you need. From here, externally rotate. You can use your towel or strap as well if you want. You can place it like this. Let me get you a good one. Okay. You want me to get
To call for hands up, to lean on, would it be
for the next side? There you go. Bring it back to center, tree pose.
Into my mind, into the deep.
Stay or play.
To the observatory.
Taking toe stand or Ekapada Galavasana, your floating
See
pigeon.
if the moon and the stars agree to take me out. Where is the
Release. Softly set it down. Taking your dancing Shiva, however you did on one side, doing it on the other.
What you've been running from? Two worlds colliding. Everybody hides, everybody bleeds, everybody wants, everybody needs love. But maybe I ain't the one.
Release. Taking big toe stand. Inhaling that left arm all the way up and over, grabbing onto the big toe. Opening it up to the side.
Look, rising calls from the east. Oh, the sky begs and pleads.
Back to center.
Yeah, boy,
Tree pose.
look around. Everybody hides, everybody bleeds, everybody hurts, everybody feels, everybody cries, everybody dreams, everybody wants, and everybody needs.
Release. Set it down. Inhale the arms up. Exhale, swan dive down. From here, Padahastasana from the front. Separate the feet, hips distance apart. Lift the toes, place the hands underneath. Bend, bend, bend those knees. Create contact between the abdomen and the thighs. Tuck the chin into the chest. Lengthen out the spine. From here, slowly begin to straighten out the legs.
Everybody's right, everybody's wrong, everybody's old, everybody's young, everybody's low, everybody's high, everybody lives, everybody dies, everybody cries, everybody dreams, everybody wants, everybody needs love.
Release. From here, taking a yogi squat. Let the toes turn out. Sit the hips down. Place your hands at your heart center. It's great for stretching out the legs, the groin, even the ankles, believe it or not. Place the right hand down. Reach that left arm up. Stay or play. Release. Switch. Left hand down, right arm up. Release. Straighten the legs. Forward fold. Walk it back forward. Downward facing dog. Walk, jump, step, float your legs through your arms and find a seated position. From here, we're going to take pose into canoe. You can have your shins parallel to the ceiling and your arms to your side. Just finding your balance. If you want the full expression, extend the legs and extend the arms up above the head. Just finding the balance first. Exhale, bring it down for canoe. Shoulders are off of the ground. Your navel's coming down to the floor. You're reaching your feet forward to the mirror. Inhale up. Lower down. Hold it for 5, 4, 3, 2. Inhale back up. Exhale, lower. So make sure that your eye gaze is looking at your navel, and it does a whole neurological thing behind it. Just trust me. And it engages the core in a different way. So that eye gaze is looking into the navel. Inhale back up. Exhale, forward fold. If you need, you can bend your knees a lot in order to help grab the feet and then slowly straighten them from there. Release. Slowly roll back. Vertebrae by vertebrae till you're in your Shavasana. Reclining diamond pose. Soles of the feet together. Open the knees wide. Take your 20 core cultivations. Release. Taking bridge or wheel. Place the soles of the feet flat on the earth. Your feet are hips distance apart. Press the feet into the earth. Lift the hips. If you're taking bridge, shimmy and shake the shoulders and interlace the hands underneath the body. Softly release when you're ready. Hug both knees into the chest. Give yourself one big hug. Let maybe rock side to side. Happy baby. Taking a peace sign grip on the big toes or grabbing the outside blade. Pulling the legs down. Maybe one day the knees will touch the ground. If you take straddle, please take it. Release. Legs up the wall pose or shoulder stand. If you're taking shoulder stand, pop the hips off of the earth. Place your hands on your lower back and use your hands as a kickstand in order to support your hips. Now you're lengthening the feet up to the ceiling and you're keeping the weight out of your shoulders. Out of your neck and in your shoulders. So the weight stays in the back of your shoulders so that it can support the weight. Plow pose. The feet touch down behind. Slowly roll down. Vertebrae by vertebrae. Coming to Shavasana. From here, taking a fish pose. Place your hands to your side. Arch your back. Point your feet. And then place the crown of the head on the ground. Softly release for your final Shavasana. If there's any pose that you'd like to take, you're more than welcome. Anything you might need. If not, just be. can live very busy lives, even when we're not doing anything. There's always something to do, something to conquer, that we forget that we just need to be still. So still that we become an observer. That we just observe and feel the breeze on our skin, the light in the room, the pulse of our heart. Meditation is observing without reacting. Imagine the person you love most. Tell them you love them. And then place them in your heart. And know that they are always there with you. Let your inner strength come from that love. Let it vibrate with everything that you do. The best and most beautiful things in this world cannot be seen or even heard, but must be felt with the heart. Namaste.